One night, after years of living with my boyfriend Sanjay, one of our disagreements became too much. "You are impossible!" I shouted at him. "I love you, but I can't keep doing this." I bolted out of the apartment we shared on the Upper West Side and, shaking with anger, stormed down Broadway and stopped at a hotel to inquire about a room. I wound up instead sitting in a dark, dingy Irish pub nearby, drinking tea and reading a book until 3 a.m. Walking back home late that night and in the days following, I thought a lot about my relationship with Sanjay, whom I had fallen for the instant I laid eyes on him. He was the most brilliant man I'd ever met, and I loved him dearly. But our relationship was riddled with conflict. We had chemistry galore and were committed to each other, yet we sustained a lot of frustration that never seemed to get resolved. This wasn't because either of us had fatal flaws. In fact, we were very much alike, well-educated, ambitious, hard-working professionals who had a lot of fun together, who endeavored to have a family and share a rewarding, love and joy-filled life. And yet, there was pain, and fighting, and blame. We had them in spades. Oh, and endless discussions about what each of us could do better that stretched into the wee hours of the night. He needed me to work less and prioritize him more. I needed him to be less critical of me and to learn to express his frustrations and criticisms much more constructively. He needed me to always have his back, even in public situations where I disagreed with him. And he needed me to be less defensive. I needed him to appreciate me more and understand me better. Despite how much we cared for each other, we did not feel loved enough by each other, which led to a vicious cycle of defensiveness and withholding. Looking back now, it was obvious that we both needed to listen better, judge each other a lot less, and find more constructive ways to manage our differences and disappointments. Shortly after the night at the Irish pub, I recounted the challenges Sanjay and I were experiencing to Laurel, an old family friend, someone very wise whom I had known for years. She had surprising advice, profound advice, in fact. She said simply, "Andrea, just love him." That stopped me dead in my tracks. What she said was spot on. Moreover, hearing it was such a relief, so liberating. I will always recall that conversation with Laurel. It was such a pivotal moment in my life. I was on the phone with her, standing in the bedroom of the New York City apartment where Sanjay and I had lived together for a few years. I had been wringing my hands and ruminating endlessly about what to do, about how we could make it work. We weren't married yet, but we were planning to be. And suddenly, upon hearing Laurel's 3 simple words, any nagging sense of fear and anxiety that had been eating away at me evaporated. Her words offered me a powerful path forward. Upon deciding to just love him, I was finally, really making a commitment to him and to our relationship. Well, we had been together for a handful of years, and though I loved him very much, our differences sometimes seemed intractable, to the point where I had been nursing an exit strategy in the back of my mind. During these challenging phases, I would think about how I could extricate myself from our relationship without falling apart. Where would I live? How would Sanjay handle it? How would I handle it? I'd convince myself that I'd feel heartbroken, but that we would both be better off. I know